Dragonites. How is everybody doing this evening? Here we are, it's Wednesday, we're halfway through the week, so hang in there because Friday, 2 more days. I do have a first order of business. We're going to talk today about the little ones, the little 20 by 20s and or 20 by 30s that you might be thinking about doing, and should you or shouldn't you, and oh my god, it's pixelated, and okay, yes, I know that, but I want to tell you some things that I learned, so I'm going to do that in a second. But first thing is, please don't forget, if you are a Luna and Lichens event participant, you must put your progress pic for week 3 in the section labeled week 3 progress for Luna and Lichens event on the Diamond Painting with Friends 2.0 Facebook page. What's going to happen is you're going to post, you'll see the header, you're going to post in the comment section where you can put your picture in there. I'm going to pull the names from there to put in for the drawing. Now, if you have already completed the canvas and you have sent it to me or you have posted it, you do not need to repost it. That's okay. Just, you know, I will pull the ones that are our finished products already. I will pull the names for that. Just if you have not, or you're still working on it, you have not completed it, post your week 3 progress pic in the assigned area on the Facebook page by Thursday evening. So when you're ready to be finished with diamond painting on Thursday and you're going to go to bed or whatever it is you're going to do, take a pic really fast and post it or send it to me. On Friday, I'm going to pull those names out so that I can get them onto the wheel so that when we have the WIP N Chat for this week, we can do the prize drawing at the same time. Okay? So please get that done. I don't want you to not get your name in and, you know, not be eligible for the drawing. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, some of you might have remembered that I sent a bunch of diamond paintings to a friend of mine who was going to do a craft fair earlier this year. And what ended up happening was the hospital where they have the craft fair, in the lobby of the hospital near her, she lives outside of Atlanta, so they, you know, she's a CNA, and so they allowed the employees to have a craft fair in the lobby twice a year. Well, it was twice a year. This year it was only once a year. So it just passed. She just had it last weekend. So I wanted to tell you some interesting things that we discovered. Now, I sent her 3 or 4 of these 20 by 20 size paintings. I sent her a 20 by 30, 2 20 by 30s. I sent probably 4 30 by 40s, and I think I sent her 1 40 by 50 to see if she could sell them, if there was a market for them, if people were interested in purchasing, you know. Well, okay, so what we found out, oh, and I sent 2 of this size. I sent in a frame, like I'm going to show you here. Excuse me. And the rest I sent just with the sides removed. So anything that had the legend on it, I removed. I left the top and the bottom on because in the larger ones, these not as much, but in the larger ones, you know, they have the size of the canvas and, you know, whatnot. This one does too. So I just figured if somebody wanted to have that information to find a frame, it was right there for them. And then I left instructions for her to tell anybody who wanted to purchase that they could just take fabric scissors and snip it off the top and the bottom and put it in the frame and be done with it. Or you could fold it over and, you know, put it in the frame however you wanted to do it. So, and I sent them off. Okay, so she put them out this last weekend. Guys, let me tell you, of all the canvases I sent, the only ones that were purchased were 2 of the 20 by 20s and 1 20 by 30. That was it. Nobody touched any of the others. She also put out some diamond paintings. She also sold a couple of them. One was an off-canvas butterfly, was in a frame, and then another 20 by 20 canvas. So that was it. Now, a lot of people looked at them. They said they were pretty, that they liked them. The only ones that sold were this size. Now, she and I talked back and forth about what we wanted to price them. And I think I told her for the 30 by 40s, the ones that I selected to send her were some that I had either gotten at Amazon or gotten at Temu. So the 20 by 20s, I only paid between $275 and $298, I think, at Temu for them. So I paid under $3. So she sold these for $10. The 30 by 40s were Amazon purchases that were around $7 or $8. So she put those out for $25. And then the 40 by 50, $40. Okay. Now, pricing is something you have to decide for yourself. I wanted to, you have to think about who you're marketing to. So the demographic here was going to be, you know, crafters, people that go to craft fairs, that like handmade items, that are not, you know, collectors of art. Okay. So, you know, if I were going to do an art gallery showing, that would be different, and I would have selected different canvases, and it would have been a different whole thing. But what we found out was, with all of those to choose from, she sold the one acrylic piece and a 20 by 20, and I sold two 20 by 20s and a 20 by 30, and that was it. There were no other diamond paintings selected. She also had, you know, our handmade cards, which she did much better on. She sold $200 worth of cards over the weekend. So, and they only allowed the craft fair from 9 to 2 on Thursday and Friday. So, you know, for that amount of time, she did really well. But I found it exceedingly interesting that the ones that sold were the tiniest ones, the ones that, you know, a lot of diamond painters scoff at. Well, scoff all you want. Those were the ones people wanted. And I think it's obvious why. These are the size that people can put any place. Literally, you can put them anywhere. You know, 6 by 6 inches. So you can put them, you know, put a magnet, put them on the refrigerator, you can put them in a frame, put them on a desk, you can gift them, you can mail them. Like, you have lots of options with these that you just don't have with enormous canvases. So, suffice it to say, people were excited about these little tiny ones. Now, do you get the clarity in them that you get in the larger ones? Not usually. But, you know, it depends what you're going for. Now, we all know you're supposed to view a diamond painting more than, you know, in the 2 to 5 foot range, really, or further out. Well, when you do that, they become more and more clear. Now, this particular one I'm giving to the animal behaviorist that works with Griffin. She also has, she just recently got a Chihuahua puppy that she's been raising, and she lost a Chihuahua puppy about a year and a half ago. So the one that she lost was a little black and tan puppy who literally just aged out. I think she was like 17 years old. So yeah, she went on to better things, and she was black and tan, and the little baby that she has now is the cream and white style. So I just like this because I thought it looked like, you know, her first one, you know, asking the new one to, you know, tell her I love her, give her kisses from me. So I thought she would like it. So I completed this one. So I'm going to show you now, in case you haven't done this or you've been thinking about how you want to do this. This is just one way that you can do it that I think is fairly inexpensive and makes a really cute gift. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to diamond paint your diamond painting, and you're going to seal it with your polyacrylic, which is what I use, or whatever it is you want to use. You're going to seal it. I've already done that step, so this has already been completed and sealed. Tape has been removed. The washi tape's been removed. So now we know that this is a 6 by 6 inch picture. However, 6 by 6 frames can be very expensive. So my advice to you is get a 7x7, which is what I'm going to be using today, or get an 8x8 and use patterned paper in the back to mat it so that there's something cute around it, and then the 6x6 is the focal point. So you know, if you have an 8x8 frame, that it's about a 2-inch border, and you can put whatever you want in there. You can put patterned paper, you can draw something, you can color something, you can polka dot something, you can put lace in it. You can literally do whatever you want to do, okay? Let your imagination go crazy. Okay, but like I said, we're going to be using 7x7. So here is the frame we're going to be using. You can see it's a 7x7-inch frame. These you can get inexpensively. I get these at the Dollar Tree. It does have glass in it, and it does have a wooden frame. They have them in black and white. I've not seen them yet in brown. I'm kind of hoping they might get a brown, but anyway. So I use these, and as you can see, it's $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. So yeah, and it's nice because it's already got the pedestal in here. If you want to, if they want to stand it up, they can. If they want to hang it on a wall, they can. If they, just, want to use it like a shadow box, they can. So like I could put this in here, and she could add, their collars or their, their footprint or whatever it is that she wants to add in here. She completely can do that. So that's why I like to use these. And I like the fact that they're a little thicker so that you can put things in here if you want to. So, okay, so first thing we're going to do is you want to trim as close to the edge of your drills as you can. You want to use fairly decent scissors, either craft snips or... Hey guys, sorry about that. All of a sudden, my camera turned off. That's about... Anyway, so what I was trying to say is, you can use kind of any kind of frame that you want to, but when you're cutting out your picture, you want to be sure to use craft snips or fabric scissors, or something that's fairly heavy duty. If you only have scissors, that's okay. Scissors will work. They're just a little bit tougher because when you start to cut these edges off, they tend to move around a little bit. So yeah. So yeah, just make sure that you have a fairly heavy duty piece of scissors or craft snips or whatever, and then just cut all the way around. Now, what I did is I took this piece of paper that was already in the frame itself, I turned it over, and I'm using this to center this canvas. Now, I'm having a little trouble keeping it centered when I put it in the frame. So here's what I'm going to do. I have a acid-free tape runner with permanent tape in it. This happens to be the Elmer's tape runner. There are several different kinds. Any craft store will have them. Amazon has them, wherever you want to do it. So when I get it placed where I want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up one side. I'm just going to put a little bit in here so that it will keep it down and keep it from moving while I'm trying to put it into the frame. The other piece that I was merrily talking about while you guys were being in the midst of my camera shutting off is that I did wipe down the front of the glass, or I'm sorry, the inside of the glass frame with eyeglass cleaner, because I like it better than glass cleaner in general because it doesn't leave any kind of residue. It's not sticky, it doesn't streak, it doesn't smear. So I'm going to use some more of that on the outside of the frame once I get it in. So don't worry, you'll see all that too. Okay, so now I have it, and it can't leave this piece of paper, which is a perfect size because it came with the frame, so we know that. Then, very carefully, you're going to take your frame, you're going to put it back in here. So it's always nice to be able to use the paper that comes in the frame because otherwise it would be trash. So all you do is when you take it out of the frame is you just flip it over, and it'll either be black or white, and you can just use it. So now, could I have put this in here in such a way that I didn't need to use this paper. Yeah, I could have. I could have just used, you know, scrapbooking paper with a cute print, dog paws maybe. Or I could have used, you know, dried flowers. Or you could put anything you want around it. Lace, literally anything. So, no, you don't have to go with what's on here. There's, you know, lots of options. Okay, so that's now in here. So now I'm going to look at this side and make sure it looks okay. And it does. And I'm really okay with how that looks. And I think she's going to love it. What I'm going to do, just so you guys know, and I'm going to continue to use some eyeglass cleaner to clean this glass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some word bubbles on here. So it looks like the two dogs are talking about her. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, and she can take them off if she wants to because they'll be on the outside. Now, you know, can you put stickers on it? Yeah, you can do that. You can put anything you want on it. You can put, you know, vellum on it and put words on it. I mean, you literally only limited by your imagination, people. So let your inner dragon fly. Come up with whatever you want to do. Okay. And there you have it. So one of the ones that I sold through the craft fair process was in a frame. It was in a white frame, but it was the same frame. It was just white instead of black. But they do have these in black and white. So, you know, generally they're in stock all the time at the Dollar Tree. But, you know, also if you are in a thrift store, Goodwill, garage sale, any place where you see framed pieces and they're, you know, pennies on the dollar, get them and refurbish the frame. It doesn't take anything to spray paint or acrylic paint these. So just a thought. So yeah, so I'm going to put some little word bubbles, and then I will wrap this in a Christmas wrapping paper, and I will give it to her for Christmas. And I think she's going to love it. So that is how you frame a little 20 by 20. So yeah, one of the ones at the craft fair, of the 3 that I sold, 1 was framed, 2 were not. So clearly people weren't worried about frames. They were perfectly okay taking them not framed. And I had told her, because of the 2 that I sent framed, I said, you know, if somebody wants one and they'd like the frame to go with it, take the one in the frame out and let them take it. And then we'll just have that one without a frame. But nope, they were fine with it. They just said, I like this one. They gave her the $10 and away they went. And then she, you know, sent it to me and all was right with the world. So I did order some more for next year. They're going to do the end of October, beginning of November of next year. So I will, throughout the year, do some more 20 by 20s. And I did purchase some more variety of them from Temu. Because right now they're really cheap because Black Friday is going. So, I mean, they were like $1.62, $1.18. One of them, I swear to you, was 89 cents for a 20 by 20. And it's really cute. So anyway, I stocked up. So I have some to do for next year. So that was my experience with the craft fair purchasing people, and how to frame your 20 by 20s if you so choose to. And they do have some really cute ones, you know, for 20 by 20s. So all of this to say, excellent gift to give somebody. Never be afraid of the little ones. You know, yes, they're more pixelated, but, you know, not everybody is interested in these thoroughly huge 90 by 100 canvases. I mean, they're just not, I mean, really, they're not practical for a lot of people. They wouldn't be practical for me no matter how much I loved it. You know, there's very little wall space, and what I have already got reserved for some of the, you know, diamond paintings I have. So consider the smaller ones. Certainly they're more cost effective. I mean, you know, are they perfectly unpixelated? No, they're not. But, you know, you can see, even if I hold it up close to you, you can make out that these are 2 dogs, the 2 Chihuahuas. You can see their eyes. You can see their ears. You can see where their feet are. You can see where there's a hint of toenail. It's not like you can't make it out, okay? So, not everybody is Rembrandt, is what I'm saying. So, that's how you go about framing it, one of many different ways. So I encourage you to, you know, play with it. If you have a couple of small ones that you just liked the picture on it, or somebody gifted it to you, or you have one you really want to wrap up and give as a gift, I'm going to say do it. Literally do it. You know, Can't really go wrong. And again, this is a 7x7 frame because these are cheap, right? Again, the $1.25. Now, if you are looking for a 6x6 because you want it to fit exactly, you can get them at Amazon. In fact, I gifted some that were in a pair. There were 2 frames that came with it. But the two 6x6 frames were like $15 when I can get 2 7-inch frames for $2.50. So, you know, think about it. Everybody's, you know, counting pennies now because things are a little tumultuous at the moment. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys because I was surprised at the craft fair ended that way. I thought maybe she would sell the 40x50 and maybe a couple of 30x40s, but she did not. She sold the little sloth that I had, and then I sold the one dragon sitting on the pumpkin, and then another little creature. The 3 chickens. You guys remember the 3 little chickens with the hairdo? Yeah, somebody bought that and was delighted with it. So delighted that he came back the next day, which was the final day of the craft fair, just to thank her and let her know how much his wife loved it. And yeah, it was a guy. He bought it and he bought a bunch of cards. So you never know. But you guys do you. If you are looking to sell and make a profit, I think it's hard to do that with a diamond painting because especially if you're buying premium canvases and you're paying a premium price, the reality is trying to find a market for someone who wants to purchase that from you, you're probably not going to be able to price it high enough to justify the hours you put into it. You might get your money back from the canvas, maybe, if you're dealing with a part of the population that knows about diamond painting. There are so many still that don't. I mean, I run into them every day and it always surprises me. But yeah, people don't understand what it is. They don't know what it is. They don't know what they're supposed to do with it. So you have to think ahead about that as you're making decisions about, you know, whether or not you're trying to make a profit, or if you're just trying to sell them, or you're just trying to de-stash, or you're just trying to make room because you've got more than you can handle and you're still working on WIPs and there's going to be more you can't handle. So, yep. So just think about, you know, what your options are and who your demographic is too. Neil and I have thought long and hard about maybe it would be a good idea to try to sell some of them online, maybe some kind of store. I'm kind of not interested in Etsy, but you know, it doesn't mean that we couldn't come up with a website of our own where we could maybe sell some of the diamond art that we're doing that we don't have any intention of keeping. But we're still in the discussing it phase because there's a lot of so many facets to that and to doing something like that. And again, I don't know what the likelihood is that larger paintings would sell in that regard, which is kind of why I sent smaller to this craft fair, which is just one of lots of craft fairs. And it was in a hospital lobby. It wasn't like at a fairgrounds or something. So how they would do, you know, out in that kind of environment, I don't know. This was just literally an experiment. I just wanted to see what, if anything, would be interesting to people. So yeah, the little dragon on the pumpkin and the 3 chickens with hairdos and the sloth, those are what people wanted. So God love you. And the one that my bestie sold was the one with the diamond, the dragonfly and little round acrylic piece. Went to a little girl who just was so excited about it and so badly wanted it for her room, which I thought was precious. So yes, so she bought it. And so, you know, you just don't know who's going to go, oh, I love that. A lot of people stopped by to say how much they liked it, but they didn't purchase. They looked. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that information along. Whether you want to sell them or not, I'm telling you, this size and up to 30x40s make a really great gift. If you know that they have wall space and you want to give somebody a larger one, that's wonderful, because that's, you know, that's major. That's going to be huge. Now, if Neil and I ever get a chance to get back working on Angel of Justice, that one is going to be enormous. And I know the person that I'm gifting it to, used to have room for it, but they've gone from a 3-bedroom, 2-story house to a condo. So I don't know, but I'm going to gift it to them and hope they can. But if nothing else, because they're attorneys, they can always hang it in their office if they so choose. So, but other than that, I do try to gift smaller because I don't want somebody to go, this is great, but I have literally nowhere to put it, and then end up throwing it, you know, to Goodwill or somewhere like that. And I do try to tailor it, like, you know, like this person, I know she's into Chihuahuas, so my chances of her enjoying and appreciating this are very high. If you're not sure what they're into, I mean, there are things we can always give. We can give, you know, little pictures of, you know, flower bouquets or classic cars or, you know, things that are kind of everybody sort of kind of likes, you know. You can always do that, but I think it's important to know who you're giving it to. Why are you giving it to them? What do you hope they're going to do with it? And where are they going to put it? So, yeah, that's just the information that I was able to glean from my experience with selling a few of these at a craft fair just to see what would happen. I was a little surprised. I honestly didn't think, I figured they might go for the 30 by 40s. Wasn't expecting that these would be the hit. I just wasn't. So, wanted to share that with my Dragonites because you guys should have all of the data all of the time to make, you know, decisions that you want to make. And, you know, also, you know, I'm going to say, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Make sure that you're diamond painting something that you really, really like. Because the chances are that if you keep it, or if it's a large one and you gift it, you're going to spend hours on it. So, yeah, make it something you really like. Or, you know, if you get the thrill like I do out of doing something that you know someone else is going to like, that's the way to go. It's hard to work on a diamond painting that you're not enjoying, either because it's not your genre, or it's not the colors you like, or the subject matter just kind of makes you want to choke, whatever it is. If you don't like it, it's really hard to put the hours in. So do the ones you like the best. So if that happens, you'll figure out where to put them, or you will gift them to somebody you love or something. So, but if all you want to do is try to turn them over to make more money to buy more kits, God love you, I understand that too, then consider the little ones, because they seem to be in larger demand. All right, Dragonites, I took up enough of your time, but thank you very much. Please don't forget to post your progress pic, this week's progress section, week 3 of Luna and Lichens. And I will see you for the WIP N Chat on Friday, and we're going to draw some prize winners. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And remember, always be a dragon. Spread your wings. Protect those you love. Have fiery passion. Stay strong, slay your fears, and always fly high, rise up, and soar. All right, Dragonites, wonderful rest of the week. Love to each and every one of you. New subbies, hello. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Diamonds and Stuff family. Tried and true subbies, I appreciate each and every one of you. I know I'm behind once again on my responses to you, but I will get back to you. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.